Well, I just got shot in the face. Howdy. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are trying a black powder revolver straight out of the 1850s. And this is our first video and what will probably end up becoming a series on the channel that we will call Cowboy Guns for Self-Defense. So part one of this series had to be with the coolest looking cowboy style gun that I own, the Armi San Marco replica of a Colt 1851 Navy cap and ball revolver. The weirdest thing happened when I put on this hat and picked up this revolver. My upper lip immediately sprouted a mustache. Apparently black powder firearms stimulate facial hair growth. So Armi San Marco was an Italian company that made a lot of reproductions of these old black powder firearms. The original Colt 1851 Navies were 36 caliber, but this one is actually a 44, and I have never fired a black powder gun of any type in my life, so we're gonna try it out for the very first time together. Well, I don't think cowboys usually wear safety glasses, but I do want to be safe. For our first shot, I just loaded one. We'll shoot this, see how it feels, then we'll shoot a full cylinder. First time, let's do it. Let's shoot the first one one-handed, since that is standard operating procedure for these old smoke wagons. I'm gonna put the sights right on that yellow plate, and we'll see where it goes. Look at all the smoke. Well, I missed the target. I did see it move, so maybe I hit the chain or somewhere close to it. It had a lot less recoil than I expected and was very smoky. That was awesome. All right, I've got 5 shots loaded. I left one chamber empty, and I want to try and hit a steel target. From what I've read about these, the quality and accuracy can be kind of inconsistent. Like, some guns are great, some guns aren't. So I have no idea where this thing's hitting or if it's accurate at all, but let's try and hit that steel target. That one had a little more recoil. Missed, no idea where it went. There we go. My push rod fell down again. It's a neat feature with these cap and ball revolvers. That one hit right in the middle, and I was aiming pretty far below it. We got a cap jam. Let's see if we can get through 5 shots without a jam. Going for that yellow plate. Yeah. Come on. It's so smoky. We still had at least 2 defective caps that didn't go off though. I don't know. All right, these 2 still have caps on them. Boy, good thing I'm not in a gunfight. We'll get it later. We've got 1 left. Come on. Yes. It is so smoky, and it doesn't smell great, if I'm being honest. I think we actually ended up shooting all the bullets. It just took us a few tries. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think we hit the steel with every single one of them. So this thing is a ton of fun. Definitely not the quickest or most reliable way to shoot, but it is very fun, and the amount of smoke that comes out of this thing makes it all worth it. I love it. I'm sure most of you have heard the term 6-shooter when referring to revolvers, and these days you can reload them pretty quickly, but back in the day, this was literally a 6-shooter. If you ran out of bullets, you were probably better off grabbing a new gun than you were reloading this thing. It takes forever. All right, I'm gonna quickly show you guys the loading process. Remember, this is my very first time ever doing this, so I'm gonna give it my best shot. The first thing you wanna do is put it on half cock so you can rotate the cylinder freely. We're gonna take our powder load here. It is about 25 grains. Put it in that cylinder right there. Then we load our projectile. This is just a round lead ball. Put it on that cylinder, and most of these guns actually have like a built-in push rod. So you rotate the projectile underneath that, and then ram it in there. That was pretty easy. Don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a little ring of lead that should come off the projectile, and that lets you know that it's a tight seal and none of that powder is gonna come out and set off a chain reaction, which we obviously don't want. Then we're gonna take some grease and just smash it into the chamber. That either helps prevent fouling or prevent chain fires. I'm not really sure, but everybody that I watched did it, so that's what we're doing. And last but not least, you put the cap on. Do that 5 more times and you have a full cylinder. Lightning fast. We got 5 more loaded and I'm feeling real good about these. Let's see if we can get through them. A little ramrod keeps falling down. Here we go, number 5. No! Defective cap. Only 1 malfunction out of 5 shots. For today, that's really good. And one thing that just occurred to me is some of those malfunctions we were having earlier could have been because our ramrod was falling down and I didn't notice it. So when I was trying to pull the hammer back, it obviously wouldn't turn. I'm an idiot. Well, we've got a couple watermelons on the table. Let's see what this old Red Dead revolver can do to them. And I would be willing to bet there were some cowboys in the 1850s that tested their guns on stuff just like this. Not bad. Well, I'm not gonna lie, that did a lot better than I expected. Nice. Because those projectiles are just round lead balls, I was kind of expecting them to just poke holes through our watermelons, but as you saw, it actually did explode them pretty good. Not like a 44 Magnum or something like that, but it did do a good bit of damage. We have some pieces on the ground from our first watermelon, and then probably half of our second watermelon still on the table, so not bad. Fun fact for those of you that don't know, the phrase "pop a cap in yo ass," and I know I just sounded incredibly white right there, actually came from guns like this that use percussion caps. So it doesn't really apply to modern firearms, but it's interesting that that expression has carried on throughout history all the way up until now. So next time you hear somebody say pop a cap, you know where it came from. You're welcome. All right guys, before we do our self-defense test, I have one more thing that I want to try, and that is body armor. So I don't know what the body armor technology was like in the 1800s, but I have a feeling it wasn't as good as it is today. So I want to see if this old cap and ball revolver can defeat modern body armor. And this is a level 3A bulletproof vest, which is rated for handguns up to a 44 Magnum, and I've put it on the rubber dummy backwards because this side has actually never been shot. So, can a cap and ball revolver from the 1850s defeat modern level 3A body armor? Let's find out. Again, the projectile we're using is a 44 caliber round lead ball, and I loaded this one pretty hot just to give it as much velocity as possible. Let's see if we can hit him from about 10 yards away. Nice. And that is our entrance hole right there. Not a bad shot for a black powder revolver and an idiot like me behind it. Let's see if it went through. Moment of truth, I'm gonna say it probably stopped it fairly easily, but maybe I'm wrong. and it did. You can see there is no exit hole, really not even any back face deformation. So that 3A vest easily stopped that bullet. Remember, this vest is rated for a 44 Magnum, and throughout this video, I've kind of seen that this gun is nowhere near as powerful as a 44 Magnum, so I figured it would stop it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do our self-defense test with the black powder revolver and see how much damage this thing can actually do. And our testing subject for today's video is, you guessed it, a ballistic dummy lab human head. If you haven't seen these before, it is a fake skull wrapped in ballistic shell with fake brains and fluid and stuff on the inside to mimic a real human skull as closely as possible. Now, I am curious about this one because the black powder revolver just shoots round lead balls, which are obviously quite a bit different than the modern ammunition that we have today. Luckily, I have shot these heads with almost every gun I have, so we can kind of use those videos as a reference point. Looks like it's just me and you, boy. Ow. Ow. Time to die, boy. Defective cap. Dang it. Be right back. I think it's shooting a little bit to the right, so I'm gonna aim slightly to the left. It definitely went through. Let's go check it out. And there is our entrance hole right there. It actually cracked the skull a little bit down behind the ear. And if you look at the top, it completely split that head in half. I don't think I've ever seen that before. If we go around to the other side, you can see where it did pass all the way through and out the other side. It actually did a good bit of damage coming out the back. We have some broken bones right there and then a pretty good exit hole. Not humongous, but definitely would have done the job. And of course, some green zombie blood on the table and on the ground underneath it. So not too bad for an 1850s cap and ball revolver. That definitely would have done the job in a cowboy duel. But I'm not really satisfied yet because he's still just sitting there, so let's put one more in him. Okay, in no way did he survive that, but I've kind of developed a fetish for completely destroying these ballistic dummy lab heads, so we're gonna hit it one more time. Oh! Well, I just got shot in the face. That projectile went through the head, off the railroad tie wall, came back, and grazed the side of my cheek. I'm sure there is a mark there. It didn't hurt because it wasn't going very fast, but it didn't feel good either. That's a first. But that does kind of display the difference between this and modern firearms that we have today. Railroad ties are soft enough that most bullets will just go right through them, but apparently 44 caliber round lead balls will not. Now I know. And that one did even less damage than the first one, actually. You can see the entrance hole right there, and then on the back, we have a very small exit hole. So it just passed right through. And that is why powder and ammo technology has improved dramatically over the years. If you were to shoot that with a modern 44 of any kind, really, it would probably do a lot more damage than that. All right, guys, our very first black powder video was mostly a success. Probably not quite as effective as a modern bullet would be for self-defense, but definitely not something I would want to get hit with either. Thank God for John Moses Browning and the evolution of firearms technology, because this is not something I would want to depend on in a life or death situation. It was fun to shoot though. But what do I know? I'm just a spoiled millennial with Glocks and AR-15s. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit that like button for me, guys. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.